girls and boys, I'm glad that you found me again today. We have started a brand new month. It is called the month of April, and in the Hands-On House, since it is a new month, we would be having a new theme in our clubhouse. And the theme that we have prepared for you is called On the Go. So we would be reading and learning and playing with all different kinds of things that move or that go on the go. I have some stories that I had prepared for you for the month that we would be reading together in Story Stretchers. And since we are not at the Hands-On House, I thought that I could share some of them with you here in my home, reading to you in your home. And the first story that I'm going to share with you is a book called Digger, Dozer, and Dumper. And I bet you can guess then what is inside of my Story Stretcher bag. I have lots of different types of vehicles. I have lots of construction vehicles, but I also have a couple of other vehicles that we'll read in our story today. The first vehicle that I have is a garbage truck. We will learn about a garbage truck, and I bet lots of you know that garbage trucks are vehicles that go around either to businesses or to homes in order to pick up their trash to take it to a dump or a trash site where it could be put away safely. Inside the back of a garbage truck is a big opening where sometimes they have a mechanical arm that will lift up the garbage, the trash can, and put it into the back, or the workers will pick it up with their hands and they'll dump the garbage into a garbage truck. What else do I have? I have a tow truck, and a tow truck is a special vehicle that's used to pull other vehicles that might need some help. Some cars that maybe can't move on their own, a tow truck will come up and they will extend their back arm, and they can be used to pick up another vehicle, and they can pull it along to take it to wherever it needs to go. So this is a tow truck. I have, of course, a dump truck. A dump truck is a vehicle that's used to carry really heavy things. It could carry loads of dirt, it could carry loads of rocks, it could carry loads of any other kind of material that would be too heavy or too big to fit into another kind of car. They could take it into a dump truck, and then a dump truck is also able to tip its load so that anything that it had in the back would dump out and be left in a pile. So we have a dump truck. Also have an excavator. And an excavator is another type of digger where it has a really large shovel on the front. And the shovel is used for scooping and lifting and then dumping to wherever else it needs to go. Excavators also usually rotate like this, so that way they can take whatever the load is and they can dump it somewhere else. So an excavator is a really handy vehicle for when there's lots of digging involved. I have a little steamroller, and a steamroller is a vehicle that has a big roller on the front, and the roller is used to smooth things out. So very often if they are laying maybe some asphalt outside on the roads, after they lay that asphalt, the steamroller comes through and he will flatten all of that asphalt so that the road can be nice and smooth for cars to ride on. And the last one that I have in my bag is a little cement mixer. And a cement mixer is an important vehicle because it carries and it also mixes cement that is used for things like sidewalks or foundation of houses. And all of the cement is inside of here, and it turns to keep the cement mixed so that way it doesn't get hard. And then it can come out of a little tunnel that's on the side, and all the cement can be poured out from there too. So lots of different vehicles, and you know that there are lots more vehicles than this, either on a construction site or outside of your window. But in our story today, I'm going to read to you about some of these vehicles. So before we get started, I wanted to play a little bit of a game with these vehicles. If I were to take, let's say, the garbage truck, and let's say I were to take the steamroller, and if I were to go to a work site where they have just finished tearing down all sorts of things from a building, and so there's lots of trash and lots of debris everywhere, which is the vehicle that we would need in order to take all of the trash away to clear the work area? Would we use the garbage truck or would we use the steamroller? What do you think? I think that they would use the garbage truck too. They would put all of that trash into the garbage truck to be taken away so that the area could be cleared out. What about if there is a car that breaks down on the side of the road and needs a lift in order to get back to the car mechanic? Would they use a dump truck to pick up that car on the side of the road, or would they use a tow truck to pick up the car on the side of the road? What do you think? I think so too. I think that they would use the tow truck to pick up that car so that way they could drag it along to wherever it needs to be. And how about if they are building a new playground, and before the playground is even built, they have to dig up all of the old concrete that used to be there in order to have it be a fresh new space. What vehicle do you think that they would use to dig up all of the old concrete in order to get ready for a new space? What do you think they would use for digging? Would they use a cement mixer or would they use the excavator? I think that they would use the excavator too, you are right. Now, after they clear all of that land out and it's nice and flat and they're ready to lay new cement for kids to play at that playground, now which vehicle would they need for laying new cement for the playground? The cement mixer or the excavator? I think that they would use the cement mixer too. You are right. Great job with your vehicles. The story that I have for you today is actually a book of poetry. And a book of poetry is a little bit different than other stories that you might read, because a poem is a type of writing that is sometimes used in short lines. Sometimes it rhymes, and poetry is used so that all of the readers can have the same experience. And poetry is sometimes often used to move people, to feel the beauty of what the author is sharing. So in our story today, we're going to have different poems about all of these different types of construction vehicles that you would see at a site. And you'll see that there's lots of poetry and rhyming. There's lots of rhyming that is in the poems that I'm going to share with you today. And I'm excited to share Digger, Dozer, and Dumper. And I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can see the illustrations. Our story today is called Digger, Dozer, Dumper, and it's written by Hope Vestergaard. Are you quick or slow and steady? There's a truck for you. Are you precise or really strong? We've got work to do. If you like to move and groove, it's time to get in gear. Trucks do important jobs each day. Come on, the gang's all here. Garbage truck. The garbage truck adores his work. The sights, the smells, the sounds. The sour milk, the clanging lids, the clumpy coffee grounds. Hydraulic arms reach out, then lift. He hoists the bins up high. Then tips and dumps and shakes them out and bangs them down. Goodbye. The dump truck. The dump truck doesn't dump his dirt just anywhere. He's precise. He slowly lifts his giant bed and checks his target twice. Crash, bang, clangety, clang. The gravel starts to spill. A mighty swoosh, and just like that, he pours a little hill. And here is the backhoe, and a backhoe is a vehicle that has something that pushes on the front and a big shovel that's on the back. The backhoe's two machines in one, a useful little truck. His front end pushes dirt and rocks, his back end digs up muck. And here is that mighty excavator. Who made this hole? A digger. Too small, she'll make it bigger. Too big, she'll fill that hole. Big rocks, she'll make them roll. Her name, the excavator. Her job, smooth operator. And on the other side is the bulldozer. The bulldozer isn't sleepy, he's always in a rush. He pushes piles of dirt and junk and levels trees and brush. He's not a bully either, although he's big and tough. He waits his turn, plays well with friends, and pushes just enough. Cement mixer. Around and around and around it goes, his iron belly's churning. Around and around and around it flows, the concrete must keep turning. No time to wait, he can't sit still, he has to beg your pardon. For if he dawdles on the way, his slushy load will harden. Steamroller. After the asphalt's dumped and spread in sticky, long black lines, the road must cure, you can be sure, the steamroller's close behind. She's broad and big, a massive rig, molasses slow but steady. And after she has barreled through, the road is smooth and ready. Here is a forklift. The forklift's snout pokes in and out of pallets, piles, and crates. Her L-shaped nose inspects the rows and tallies all the freight. Up and down, over and out, then up and down once more. She stacks and packs the merchandise in warehouse, yard, and store. Digger, dozer, dumper, grader, backhoe, roller, excavator, cherry picker, double decker, concrete mixer, semi-wrecker, trucks that sweep and dig and shift, trucks that dump and tow and lift, hauling garbage, moving goods, building houses, clearing woods. Trucks as far as the eye can see. Which truck would you like to be? So thanks for sharing that story with me. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of the different construction vehicles, as well as enjoying a book of poetry, which is something a little bit different than the regular stories that we share. The fun part about construction vehicles is getting to play with them, of course. I have some of these construction vehicles, and I want to come down here on the floor and show you something that maybe you can do with your construction vehicles at home. So what I did was I took my construction vehicle that I'm going to experiment with, and I took a bunch of hardcover books and I lined them up to stack them like dominoes. Dominoes are a really fun family activity that you can play with to learn cause and effect, but you can use hardcover books like this, which are much more friendly for kids' hands to be setting up, and they work very much in the same way as dominoes. So then you can go and you can take your construction vehicle and take another hardcover book, and you can use it as a ramp, and you can experiment with the ramp, experimenting with ramps that might be really tilted high or really tilted low, and talk about the difference between how fast your car can go if the ramp is up this way, and what the difference is between a ramp that's going to be tilted high and tilted low, as far as also, is it going to work if your ramp is too high, and you can experiment with that. So what you can do is you can take your car and you're going to stick it on the top of the ramp, and you can experiment in seeing what will happen when the car goes down the ramp like this. So dominoes are a good way to learn about cause and effect. Another
activity that you can do is just set up some Duplos if you have them at home, and you can again adjust your ramp to see how fast and the force that your trucks are, and try and build down some towers that maybe you can knock over. So go ahead, James. And so try and build some sturdy towers if you want, to try that can withstand the force of a car going down the ramp, and experiment with different inclines of your ramp and see how fast they can go, how long they can go, and what they can knock down. Thanks for sharing the story with me. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.